Hello again, YouTube. We are back for now part 7 of the Militia Standards and Principles of the Light Foot by Jeffrey Stankovitz, founder of the Idaho Light Foot Militia, 5th edition, 19th of April, 2020. We finished last time reading about the uniform and the equipment, the recommended equipment, not required, and we're going to be finishing off, actually, the standards today, reading about evacuation and mobilization SOP. And we're going to read the starting a light foot unit in a separate reading. Anywho, part 7, we will begin on page 35. Evacuation and mobilization SOP. An evacuation may become necessary for many reasons, including natural or man-made disasters, civil unrest, terrorism, etc. If you wait until the last minute to evacuate, you will be caught up in the masses of panic-stricken sheep who don't have a clue what to do. There may be rioting, looting, and panic buying at the stores by the unprepared. Martial law will be declared, with curfews, gas and food rationing, checkpoints, and roadblocks. Do not get caught in this mess. You must pre-plan for these events. You must have somewhere to retreat to set up in advance and must have a primary route as well as 2 secondary routes planned. Always keep your gear packed and ready to go. Keep the gas tank full at all times and have at least 2 5-gallon cans in reserve. Every vehicle must be equipped with a mobility kit. Vehicle mobility kit. 2 cans, Fix-A-Flat plus a tire plug kit. 1 spare tire, jack, and lug wrench, 1 12-volt compressor, 1 set of tire chains, 1 come-along or winch, 1 chainsaw, 1 axe single bit, 1 shovel, 1 bolt cutter, 2 5-gallon cans of gas, 1 of each fuel, oil, filter, and 5 quarts of oil, 1 spare fan belt, headlight, fuses, 1 set of basic tools, 1 fire extinguisher, a spotlight, flashlight and spare batteries, CB radio, police, fire, emergency channel scanner. Evac routes. Prior reconnaissance is an absolute must. You will need a state atlas and a USGS map of your area of operations. You need to plan out 3 routes in advance. The primary route should be the most direct possible. Avoid all interstates and major state highways. The alternate routes should be back roads as far off the beaten path as possible. When selecting a route, look for all choke points and possible ambush sites so that you won't be surprised when the time comes. Once you have selected your routes, drive them night and day under various conditions. You must familiarize yourself with these routes and come to know them like the back of your hand. You must know them well enough to drive them without lights. Look for out-of-the-way sites to pre-deploy supplies along the way. OPSEC and convoy ops. The first step in preparing your evacuation plan is the pre-designation of an initial rendezvous point. It should be centrally located and en route to the designated area of operations. Try to pick a high elevation that will provide a degree of cover and concealment. If the route is over 30 miles long or passes through several small towns, then you must set up immediate rally points using the same criteria as above. Second, the order of march. First in line will be the lightest and least capable vehicle, carrying the forward security element. If the first vehicle crosses obstacles unassisted, then the rest of the convoy should have no problem. Second in line is the heaviest and most capable vehicle, carrying tow lines, winch, chain, saw, axes, and other vehicle recovery and road clearing equipment. In the event of a stuck vehicle or roadblock, this equipment will be used to clear it. The forward security element will position itself for rapid deployment in the event of an ambush during clearing operations. Third and fourth in line will be the supply vehicles and support personnel. Last in line will be the rear security element in a heavy 4-wheel drive, carrying equipment, roadblocks, chainsaws, etc. Third, on the march, maintain maximum safe intervals between vehicles. Don't bunch up, particularly at obstacles or possible ambush points. Each vehicle should remain in sight and small arms range of the vehicle in front and behind it. Minimize exposure by maintaining the interval at temporary halts. Fourth, radio communications must be maintained between vehicles. Use all ComSec measures. Make no on-the-air references to road or place names, landmarks, etc. Do not engage in useless chatter. Maintain radio silence as much as possible. Fifth, lager, disperse in a circle, all vehicles under camouflage and concealment during any prolonged halt. Maintain light and noise discipline at all times. Both light and noise travel long distances at night in rural areas. Keep 2 sentries patrolling the circle in opposite directions so they can keep watch on the lager and each other. Rotate sentries every 2 hours. We're also going to go ahead and read through the battalion medic loadout list for this section, and then we'll be done with part 7. So here we go. Battalion medic loadout list. This is by no means a complete list. There may be mission-specific items not covered in this directive. The items listed in these tables will allow you to perform the required procedures for which they are listed for. It is incumbent upon the medic to acquire and to become proficient in each procedure. Equipment is broken down into tables with repetitive items listed first. These are minimum standards. Airway, 1. Gauze, 4x4 and 2x2, 4 each. 2. Oropharyngeal airway, 1 of each size. 3. Nasopharyngeal airway, 1 of each size. 4. Combi tube, 1 each. 5. Bag valve mask, 1 each. 6. Aqueous lube for tubes and airways, 4 each. Bleeding, 1 compression bandage, 2 each size. 4, 6, 12-inch. 2. Blood stopping agent, quick clot, Celox, etc. 3. Assorted bandages for lacerations, 6 each size. 4. Alcohol wipes, wound cleaners, 10 minimum. 5. Betadine. 6. Gauze dressing, 10 each, more is better. 7. Assorted bandages. Wound management, sutures, 1 to 3, 5 to 7, and 8 to 10, 2 of each. Scalpel, disposable or autoclavable with extra blades. Staple gun, 15 minimum. Sterile water for irrigation. Wound glue. Miscellaneous. Tape. Heavy cloth, bandaging. Cravats for splinting. Scissors. Trauma shears, dressing. Ton depressors, SAM splints, large and small. Tweezers, forceps. Medications. Benadryl. Analgesics, over-the-counter pain meds. Antidiuretics. D5W IV solution, 500 milliliters. Normal saline solution, 1,000 milliliters minimum. Diagnostic, stethoscope, blood pressure cuff, adult, medium, and large. Pen light. IV administration, IV catheters, 14, 18, 20 gauge, 2 each, minimum. IV starter kits, 3 minimum. Tourniquets, 2 each. Many thanks to Captain Willard Protzman for his many years of service to the 1st Idaho Regiment and for the addition of this medic loadout list to the standards. Now that is going to be the end of the reading of the Light Foot Militia Standards. Coming up next, we will be reading the subsection, which does come in the standards, but I think it deserves its own video. The starting a Light Foot Militia unit in your county. Thanks again for listening, and as always, thank you for your time. Ciao.